Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm not doing a reading right now. This is sort of like a public service announcement, so I guess that's the best way to describe it. So this is something that I've done in the past before, and it's kind of been temporary. I don't think it's going to be temporary this time. I have been sort of pulling away from the kind of direct and indirect communication I get from people through my channel. And the reason I'm doing that is there is a lot of toxicity that does come through. So I do need to protect myself from that because it's not really what I'm here for. And two, it's just a lot of distraction. And that's not why I'm here. So I have been spending some time assessing why I'm here. I mean, I know why I'm here, but where I should allow some of my energy to go and where I shouldn't. So we are going to be turning the comments off on this channel permanently. This will be the last week where I will keep the comments open. Say whatever the hell you want. I guess I won't block you because it won't matter. But it literally has become a full-time job on this channel to moderate and monitor comments. And no, I'm not looking for a moderator. I've already been through that with someone who was quite deceptive. So I think the best thing at this point is to silence the voices. And why I'm saying that is the real contract that I have in this channel is the contract that I have between me and God, me and Source, and myself and my spirit guides. I utilize myself as a conduit, as an oracle, to provide messages, I guess, to the masses or whoever comes here. My contract, and I've actually have full cards on this too, and Spirit has given me full permission to do this and also agreed that this is not why I'm being utilized. I am not meant to be, I guess, a therapist for anyone on a personal level outside of friends that I have that come towards me for that. And I'm also not meant to be a police officer or a dartboard for anything or anyone, which comes out a lot. And it's been coming out quite a bit in a very passive aggressive way lately, which often is more difficult to deal with when it's direct. So the reason I'm here is not really to get anyone's approval. It's beautiful, it's wonderful when you guys really resonate with a reading that I do, or you're really happy about something that I've done. But it's not really why I do anything. And I think there's a lot of confusion in that with a lot of people that come to the channel. And I've just been finding more and more lately, like a lot of the passive aggressive comments are, you know, you're a tarot reader. Aren't you supposed to be like this? Or aren't you supposed to do that? And then people coming in too and trying to offer advice to me where I'm not even actually looking for advice or asking for advice. I'm just kind of going to be honest. Like it's been 2 years. It's been over what has it been? Like maybe 2.5 years now that I've created this channel. I can't be reached anymore through email. That's been shut down. And the comments are going to be shut down. So this really was meant to be a one-way vehicle. And to be quite honest, I'm just an oracle. I really am. Like I picture myself as the radio speaker. And there's an antenna at the top of my head and it comes out and you're there to hear it. I'm not really meant to receive your feedback, your praise, your disgust, whatever that might be. I have enjoyed conversing with many of you. I may periodically do a live or a premiere and have the comments open that way. But I think at this time, to maintain the integrity of this channel and what the purpose of it is to silence the voices. If you're coming here, you're meant to be listening. I listen quite a lot. I'll watch my videos again because when I am being the conduit, I'm kind of in it in the moment. I'm like, wow, that's such a cool message. That's such a deep message. So, and I think that's another important thing for many of you to think about is that everyone who sits on the other side of the camera, whether it's YouTube or really anywhere, is just a human being just as you are. And I think one of the things that a lot of people get confused with when it comes to those that you come to for advice through divination is that the divinator is the epitome of the message, that the divinator should be living their lives exactly as the message. Well, I know a few divinators and a few of them from YouTube, and you'd be surprised. We're all pretty human, and we're all also quite capable of being triggered in the same ways that you are. I'm no different really than any of you. So, you know, I already know a lot of the comments that will come up in here. There'll be a lot of supportive comments. There will be more supportive comments than not. But at the end of the day, when you're walking past a group of people and 95% of them give you a gentle pat on the back and the other 5% punch you in the face, believe me, it's the 5% that hits you. So you have to do something to defend yourself. So I guess I am A, defending myself by permanently closing off comments on this channel, and B, I'm also defending spirit. And the whole purpose of this, it's not meant to be a sounding board for people to come out and be aggressive towards me, to the message, to even other people in the comment section. And I don't have time to watch it. And A, I don't want to be involved with, I already have 2 moderators that I'm very, very happy with. They've always been wonderful, and I will keep them there on my channel. But again, I've never had expectations of my moderators that they should show up at any time or do anything. You know, if you happen to be there, that's great. I enjoy the support and I really appreciate it. So I don't want to bring any other entities into this than what is already here. It just becomes babysitting and policing, and it becomes a job outside of what this is meant to be. So, yeah, you know, I know, and there will be people say, you know what, Cindy, you just need to do this to protect yourself, or you just need to do this to work with crystals, or I do all sorts of that shit, to be quite honest with you. But, you know, the thing is, I would take anyone's advice who I asked their advice for, and who was in the same boxing ring as me. Your advice to me doesn't help when you're not in my boxing ring. If you could imagine yourself walking down the sidewalk, walking down the street, and, you know, you meet some wonderful people along the way, and then out of the blue, out of the corner, somebody jumps in front of you and starts telling you how much they dislike you, or they start to become passive aggressive. You don't expect it, but you have to go in, what are you going to do about that? You're just going to ignore it. You can do that for about 2 years. But in all honesty, it's not something that I think anybody can properly manage on a long-term basis. And as my channel grows, I know it's only just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's the other thing, is I think some people are also drawn to channels like this to stroke their egos. That is a big issue that sits in the spiritual realms, the spiritual circles. And it can be in any circle, but it really sits in this circle where people will come in, and that's another thing that I really don't like seeing, because I can be doing a reading and it's talking about something that, you know, whoever's resonating with it has gone through something really hard, and they're doing the work that they can, and they're being actually open and vulnerable in the comments about what they're doing. And then other people will come in and either like directly comment to them that, you know, well, you should do this, or I've done it. Like, people aren't looking for that. They just, you know, wanted to describe a vulnerability that they were going through, and this reading resonated with them. And there's a lot of ego, a lot of ego in the spiritual realm. I've been accused of having ego in this. I have an ego. We all have an ego. I really do try to put it to the side when I'm doing the readings. But when things come into the comments that are personally attacking me, I'm going to tell you, I'm an Aries Gemini. And if you don't like that, I'm sorry. But I won't take it sitting down. I will stand up for myself. And sometimes that just means blocking somebody, because it's just not worth my time to have to monitor for where this person is going to pop up. Yeah, and I also, to be quite honest, I really don't want anyone coming to this channel that's just coming here so that they can use the comment section as a sounding board to stroke their own ego. That's really not what this channel is intended for at all. It's actually always asking us, many of the messages, to look at ourselves in a more conscious way than we have before, and not necessarily needing to be heard about how good you're doing and everything. I mean, it is nice to hear. And a lot of people who've been on my channel a long time, and you come in and you say those things, like, it's not like you say it in a really healthy way. Like you'll say, you know, I've learned a lot of stuff along the way. I like to think that I'm really past this now and it's feeling really good. And anyone who's going through this, I just got to tell you, it's going to get better. Those are really healthy comments. That's like a really good way to come in and let people know that it can get better, and you do the work. You can do it. Like that's cheering people on, where I'm seeing a lot of, the thing that bothers me the most in toxic aspects of people is when they raise themselves up by pushing other people down. I've talked about it many times on my channel. I get that a lot. I get that a lot too from, I guess I would call them new YouTube tarot readers that come into my channel, and I go and I see, well, who is this person? Because often they'll be criticizing me, like, and I'm thinking, like, I'm just reading the cards, and I'll go and I'll see, like, this person's got like 2 or 3 videos, and they've got 10 to 20 subscribers, and they've been doing it for a month or something, and I just think, sometimes I feel like they come in to try to get noticed, to try to kind of use the platform that I've created to promote themselves. I don't mind promoting other readers, and I do on my channel. Readers that like I've connected with and I feel comfortable with, and I really feel like they come from a genuine place, so I would recommend them to you. I do that. I have no problem with raising others up who I think, you know, like, there's a lot to learn over here with this person. I think it's worth going. But I would never go to someone else's channel and try to put them down to make myself feel better about who I am, or to try to get publicity or whatever that is. So these are just like a very small drop in a very large bucket of what I deal with. Like, it's just not this or that or that or this. It's a lot of things. And again, it comes down to, who do I truly have a contract with? And it really is with spirit. I couldn't have done any of this without spirit. And I think spirit has given me the full go ahead to just close the comments off, and that's it. Because I think too, at the end of the day, God, the universe, source, wants you to listen to the message and take it in. And as I always say, like, it may or may not resonate. If it doesn't, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The messages tend to be for who needs to hear it the most at that time. I'm trying to think of anything else that I want to say. I do, like, as I said, you know, we want, fill up the comments this week, this coming week, but it will be the final week for comments. So I will devote whatever it takes to devote to kind of keep those comments clean and healthy through that time period. But yeah, that's really it. I guess it's too, a lot of people kind of have, this is something though that's very common, not even just on YouTube, is people will build something in your mind about who you're supposed to be in their eyes. And if you fall from that a little bit, they get really upset. Like, they'll take it personally. And I don't know, like, you guys should live this way too. Like, you are not meant to meet anybody's expectations. And you're not meant to fall into some sort of box or label that someone has created for you. If somebody has decided that they like you because of this belief or this way of governing yourself, You know, I like you because of that. And then they see this other aspect of you. I can't believe how you betrayed me. I can't believe how you tricked me. I thought you were this type of person. Aren't you supposed to be like this? People are like, really, that's not healthy. That really isn't healthy. And I also do deal with a lot of that in the comments. And I just think like, you don't even know me. And quite frankly, maybe a lot of you wouldn't even like me if you knew me personally. I'm going to be honest. I don't really like adults that much. I really pick and choose what adults I share my energy with. If I had my choice, I would just spend my time with animals and kids, to be honest, because they're a lot easier to deal with and they're a lot less judgmental. And if something doesn't work out for them, they tend to rebound out of it a lot faster than adults without holding like really deep grudges and hate. So, I'm going to be honest, like, yeah, I would much rather spend my time with animals and kids. Probably a lot of you. And you would probably like to spend your time with other people besides me. I do tend to keep to myself a lot. I tend to draw and paint. Well, I haven't had time to do that. And just walk in the woods and not really have to talk to adults. Because there's always some sort of expectation about who you should be. Yeah. So I'm really done with looking at people's expectations, and particularly people's expectations from all over the world, because there's a lot of cultural differences in the world, and who I am culturally is about where I've been born and how I've been raised. And I have been, I think anyways, raised in a real soup of diversity. Where I went to school, most of the kids, they were immigrants to Canada from, if I think about it, in the 80s, from the Ukraine, from Korea, just like all over the world. And I have a very broad mind, I guess, in terms of how I see myself and how I'd like to see myself. But there's a lot of people around the world that have, unfortunately, and it's to no fault of their own either, that have been raised in cultures and places where there isn't much opportunity to learn about other people and other cultures. So again, as I'm describing all the avenues of what I deal with in the comment section, it is so broad. And it goes beyond just, oh, that's a nasty comment. Oh, there's nasty people to deal with. It's a very, very broad perspective. It's all over the world. And like I said, 95% of it is great. And when 95% of people are either not patting you on the back or just like letting you walk by, that's great. It's the 5% that, you know, unsuspectedly, they'll punch you in the gut, they'll punch you in the face. And that can be how it feels. Like it can hurt emotionally, and it can hurt even like your mental health, having to deal with that all the time. And I see so often so many other tarot and oracle readers like constantly dealing with this. And I guess too, it's part of the job where we do have a tendency to pull in people who need to hear the message. And sometimes people who need to hear the message aren't ready to hear the message, and they can strike out at us. So I think it's really good almost if I sit behind a force field and I deliver the messages. And then that way, the message doesn't get affected for the next time it has to be delivered, the next time it's needed to be delivered. So yeah, that's how that is. I can't really think of anything else to talk about in this. Yeah. I will say, like, if you do go to the extendeds, you can comment on the Vimeo platform. But I also feel that I owe people something on there because they've paid for it. So, I mean, in all honesty, this is free. This is free to you guys. So I'm not obligated to take abuse on this platform. Not really that I'm obligated to take abuse on Vimeo, and I never really do, because people are just, they're conversing often in a very healthy way. So I do try to check the comments as often as possible, but so that's still there. But yeah, I think that's all I really wanted to say about that, just to let you know. So you've got the next week to comment if you like. And I think if I don't know how that works, I can't remember. If I close off comments, are they closed off on all the past videos or just the ones moving forward? I'm not sure how that works, because the easiest thing for me will just be to do it as a default. So I don't know. But regardless, the channel is meant to be a source for messages from something higher than each of us, and for us to kind of hear them, either take it or not take it, and move on. So that's all I've got to say, guys. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.